I finally did it. I made over $200,000 in the past 2.5 weeks trading in the stock market. I do want to disclose that I do trade with $500,000. So that's roughly a little bit over a 40% ROI. So that's like if you trade with $10,000, you making a little bit over $4,000. I just like putting that into perspective just because, again, I know this isn't like, those crypto gains of like 2,000%. I mean, it's 40%. It's still something that I've worked really hard for. It's still something that I am continuing to try to get better on. And I wanted to share some of the things that I've learned along the way. One of the first things that I want to share with you is I do not trade penny stocks. I do not trade options. I don't really trade anything that's very aggressive. I have my bread and butter, which is the NASDAQ market, which has a big focus on tech stocks. And I focus on these pair of ETFs that either go up or down depending on the move of the NASDAQ market. I want to show you. So like today, SQQQ, I made $18,063.83. I closed out my position. I left myself with my one lucky share. And all of this was made on the original rip up within the first 2 hours of the market open. We peaked at highs of $19.33. The market was selling off due to factoring in a CPI data report that's about to be released. And as the market sold off, direction became very clear. Market sentiment was very bearish. And again, when market sells off, SQQQ goes up. I kept it very simple. I began to dollar cost average into this as it continued to form higher highs. I added more to it, and then we began to retest overbought levels. It was reaching a range that was higher than the day before. We were looking very overbought. I wanted to play it safe. We saw a potential change of direction, and then I began locking in profits and reducing my position size when I began to see that there was no longer any more signs of progress. But again, these are things that I cover every single day with my LPP team during my live trading session. So my LPP team actually gets to watch me trade live. They get to see my entries, they get to see my exits, but most importantly, they get to hear my thought process behind every single trade that I take within that live session. Now, how valuable would that be, right? Other people like to sell call outs, or they like to tell other people where to buy or where to sell. And I don't know about you, but I never want to be told what to do with my money, right? I want to understand why. And that's exactly what we do within these live sessions is I share my thought process that behind that trade opportunity that I see presented, regardless if it goes according to plan or not. You get to see a raw live session of my good trades, of my bad trades, and you get to see everything, right? Of how I manage my risk when things begin to go south, or if things are going according to plan, how I lock in profits and hold myself accountable, right? And at least myself as a visual learner, that's how I learn best. And that's exactly why we host these daily live trading sessions. So, it's been a journey, and one of my biggest takeaways from this has been journaling everything it is that every single day when it comes down to the trades that I take. On my red days, I point out areas of opportunity. Like earlier this week on Monday, I lost $10,000. I was up $10,000 on Monday, and then I not only gave that all back, but then I lost $10,000. That's a change of $20,000, right? I made very simple mistakes, but again, very simple mistakes when you trade with a lot of money cost you a lot of money, which is why it's so important to start small. And then when you understand what you're doing, then you can scale into it, right? But it was a very costly mistake. And although I've made it back with, the series of days that have followed, it's still, a big takeaway, right? But not just on my red days do I like to journal, but even on my green days. Like today, one of my biggest takeaways was I did a very good job not over trading. And that's something that I've struggled with before. I mean, I really like what I do every single day, right? And I'm eager to always get back into a position. But any open position is a position that's open to risk, which is why I held myself accountable. And after exceeding my daily goal and locking in profits, I told myself to just walk away, and regardless of what happens, even if another trade setup presents itself, just to call it a day and wait for tomorrow to see how, what the market presents to me. And I'm very happy that I was able to walk away with that. And I normally have, some areas of opportunity of what I could have done better on days, even when they are green days, because we all know that just because we end up green, it doesn't necessarily mean that that trade or the habits that we implemented for that trade were all good, right? And I think that's why journaling is so important, because it really puts order in this market full of chaos. And that's what I've been really trying to focus on, is keeping structure and order with my trading and holding myself accountable, not being perfect, but working on just being a little bit better every single day. So again, I would love to give you access to being able to watch me trade live. We are running our biggest sale right now. So you can click the link below. It's $175 off, and you can watch me trade live as soon as the next day the market opens. I trade live every single morning. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access. And remember, it's literally the only thing that I offer. So if you want the ability to watch me trade live every day, if you want access to me and these daily live sessions, then again, click the link below, one-time payment, lifetime access, and I'll see you the next time the market opens. I appreciate your time. Hope that we're in the thumbs up. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.